Welcome back to Keep Your Hebrew. Today we are on day 5 of 30 days of Isaiah, and we'll be looking at Isaiah chapter 19, verses 19 through 22. Right now we are in a broader section in Isaiah from chapters 13 through 23, which concern oracles against the nations. And here we see an oracle against Egypt, where the first half of the chapter is about God's judgment of Egypt. But there's a beautiful surprise waiting in store, which we're going to take a closer look at, which is that in the wake of judgment, we find out that the new Exodus is also for Egypt. So let's start with verse 19. Bayom hahu yiyeh mizbeach la Adonai betoch eretz Mitzrayim u matzeva etzel gevula la Adonai. So this translates, in that day, an altar to the Lord will be in the midst of the land of Egypt. This word matzeva comes from the verb natzav, which means to stand firm. So it's a thing that stands firm. It's a pillar. A pillar to the Lord will be beside its border. Look at this 3fs suffix. It's referring back to the land of Egypt. So it's saying that there's going to be these pillars, these memorial stones to the Lord, altars for the worship of the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt. Moving on to verse 20. V'chaya la'ot ula'ed la Adonai tzavaot be'eretz Mitzrayim ki yitz'aku el Adonai mipnei lochatim v'yishlach lahem Moshiach v'rav v'hitzilam. Okay, let's work through the translation. And it will be for a sign and a witness to the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. So this could be translated as for, or more accurately perhaps when they cry out to the Lord from before or on account of oppressors, He will send to them a savior and a contender and deliver them. So here's the parsing of Moshiach and Rav. Moshiach is actually a he field participle ms of Yasha, to save, and Rav is actually a cal participle of Reeve, to strive or to contend. So we're looking at a deliverer, a defender, a contender on behalf of Egypt, being sent by the Lord. Moving on to verse 21. V'noda Adonai leMitzrayim v'yadeu Mitzrayim et Adonai bayom hahu v'avdu zevach u mincha v'naderu neder la Adonai v'shilemu. And the Lord will make himself known. So this is a Nifal Perfect 3ms WCS of Yada. And the Lord will make himself known to Egypt, and Egypt will know the Lord in that day. And this is an interesting reversal of the words used in Exodus chapter 7, when the Egyptians will know the Lord as a God of judgment. But in this case, the Egyptians will know the Lord in a covenantal sense, in a similar sense, in fact, an identical sense to how God's people, Israel, know him. And that's wonderful. And they will serve or offer sacrifices and gifts, and they will vow vows to the Lord, and they will fulfill them. Finally, verse 22. V'nagav Adonai et Mitzrayim nagov v'rafo v'shavu ad Adonai v'netar lahem u'rafa'am. And the Lord will strike Egypt. Now, you may be looking at these two infinitive absolutes and wondering how they work. You can refer to BHRG using this reference, but basically there's an adverbial use of the infinitive absolute taking place here. And in particular, the second one modifies the first infinitive absolute, which comes from the same root as the main verb. And this is a really lovely expression of how the Lord cuts in order to heal. As he strikes, he is healing, with the result that they return to the Lord. They will return to the Lord. And this is an interesting expression. And he will be pleaded with for them, or he will allow himself, or God will allow himself to be pleaded with for their help, for the help of Egypt. And they, notice this 3MP suffix, and he will heal them. He will heal them. So what this is a picture of how shalom is going to be extended to people from every tribe, nation, people, and language who bow the knee in humble faith to Jesus, in whom all families of the earth are blessed. That's all for today. I'll see you again tomorrow for day 6 of 30 days of Isaiah.